Today we're heading to Pioneer to play some 5-color defenders. Hello everyone, it's Seth, probably better known as Saffron Olive, and it's time for another edition of Against the Odds. And this week, we are heading to Pioneer to play 5-color defenders, trying to find out if some of the new Dominator United cards are good enough to make defenders into a at least semi-competitive deck in Pioneer. So let's talk about the deck, what it's trying to do, jump into some games, see it in action. So we are in Arcadia's a Strategist deck. We've played this card in the somewhat distant past before. Really good payoff for a defender deck. When a defender enters the battlefield, we get to draw a card, and it lets our defenders attack and deal damage equal to their toughness. So all of a sudden, all of our 0 power, 0/3 type creatures, which we have a million of, can start beating our opponent down. But we've played Arcades before, so why are we revisiting defenders now? And the answer is, we got 2 huge new payoffs from Dominator United. First, Wingman Chaplain, one of the best limited cards from the set, but maybe good enough for constructed too. At first glance, it looks bad. I mean, it's a 4-mana 0/3 with Defender. Doesn't look exciting. The big deal, though, is when it enters the battlefield, you get a 1/1 bird token for each creature with Defender you control. So that is hopefully going to make, 3, 4, 5... a million birds, somewhere in that range. And then when another defender ETBs, we get to make another bird. So this gives us a ton of small creatures that are evasive that we can use to pressure our opponent's life total, or if we have to, chump block to stay alive. The other big new payoff is Blight Pile. Blight Pile, just for 3 mana, taps and drains our opponent equal to the number of defenders we control. So ideally, in the early game, we can chip in for some bird damage or some Arcades damage, and then use Blight Pile to just burn our opponent out of the game. So these are the big payoffs. We also got a ton of ramp in the deck. So really, Caretaker, it's a pretty bad mana dork, but it does have Defender. Sylvan Caryatid, actually a pretty good mana dork thanks to Hexproof, also has Defender. Axebane Guardian can make an absurd amount of mana. It taps to make mana equal to the number of defenders we control, so we can make a ridiculous amount of mana and hopefully have some combo turns with Arcades where we just keep casting a bunch of defenders, drawing more defenders, eventually building a huge board. Then we have our support defenders, I guess. Resolute Watchdog can fizzle a removal spell, sack it to give something indestructible. 2/2 Rebel Fort lets our birds attack right away, and also lets our mana dorks tap right away, which again helps with those combo turns we're trying to set up. And then Faithbound Judge is a big defender. It actually can play some defense and eventually offense without the help of Arcades, which is nice. More importantly, the backside is actually pretty legitimate in our deck. Since we have so many mana dorks and Axebane Guardian, we can easily get to 7 mana, put Sinner's Judgment on our opponent, and hopefully just use our birds and our defenders to block for a few turns until our opponent loses the game on their upkeep. Otherwise, Court Calling finds our pieces. We're 5 colors, so Leyline Binding, the best removal spell, 1 high alert, kind of a backup Arcades for attacking. Mana base, not going to talk about every land. Look at the deck list. It's a bunch of Triomes and Shock lands, some of the buddy lands, a Mana Confluence, some basics. In the sideboard, a bunch of removal for aggro, some graveyard hate, some discard encounters for control, and that is 5-color defenders for Pioneer. That's our Against the Odds deck for this week. So let's jump into a Pioneer League and see if we can actually win some games with Wingman Chaplain, Blight Pile, and friends. Thanks for watching, everyone. I hope you enjoy it, and I'll be back in a bit for the wrap-up. Today's video is brought to you by our awesome sponsor, Card Kingdom. You can get all the Dominator United cards you need and help support the show over at cardkingdom.com/MTGGoldfish. Against the Odds time, we are playing some defense in Pioneer. Playing some 5-color defenders. Is it possible to win with Wingman Chaplain in Pioneer? Is Blight Pile a staple? Those questions and more on this week's Against the Odds. Although, I don't know if you're going to like the answers. I don't know if I'm going to like the answers. We'll find out. All right, Temple Garden, untapped. So really, Caretaker, go. Opponent, Boseiju. All right, so mono green combo. Play Sorelli Caretaker, play the land, play the Blight Pile. I mean, this is a pretty sweet start for our deck. We get to Chaplain next turn and make a ton of birds. Is that enough? Can we kill our opponent before they go infinite? That's the question. Oath of Nissa goes digging. All right, get some mana dork. The opponent's gonna have a lot of mana. Land, mana dork. And even more mana dorks. Play the land untapped. And run out a Wingman Chaplain. Make 4 birds. Pass the turn. I mean, we can kill our opponent in, what, 3 turns at this point? Lair of the Hydra. Old Growth Troll. Sure, that's not too bad for us. Another mana dork. Opponent passes. Ooh, Rubble Fort, eh? So we do need to be able to activate Blight Pile. That is important. So let's let's play Caryatid. Make a bird. We are down to 14 because of our mana base. This is gonna be close. This is gonna depend on what that one card in our opponent's hand is. The Green Devotion deck is the best deck in Pioneer. So we get a bird. We play the Trio. We hit our opponent for 4 with our flyers. And then we can drain for 5 with Blight Pile. We might have a shot here. Opponent goes to combat. Hits us for 4. We will take it. Can we win next turn? I think there's a chance we can win next turn. Old Growth Troll, that's fine. And a Caryatid. All right, so tap, tap, tap. Blight Pile you to 11. Untap. Oh my God, another Chaplain. 1, 2, 3. Rubble Fort. Make a bird. Oh, this is gonna work. Go to combat. Hit you for 6 in the air. And then Blight Pile ya. We did it. Defenders. Defenders. Opponent goes to 5. And then we are a Blight Pile activation away. Tap, tap, tap. Pioneer All-Star Blight Pile. 11 damage. Turn 5, 5-color defender kill. That was good. We've had some rough games with this deck, but that was not one of them. That was about as good as a game can be, honestly. Like, wow, that was good. All right, opponent, Mono Green Devotion. We probably want the counters to stop the big things. And then maybe the Vanishing Verses. We probably don't really need the Watchdogs. Mono Green is not really about removing stuff for the most part. We can go down maybe like 1 Faithbound Judge, 1 High Alert, and what's our last cut? Blight Pile. Blight Pile was so good that game, though. Can we really cut the All-Star from the last game? You know what? Let's go Faithbound Judge. Faithbound Judge feels like it's going to be probably a bit slow against what our opponent's doing. Oh, boy. That hand is all defense. I don't know if we want to keep this, honestly. We're going to mulligan. Well, we definitely don't want to keep this. Okay, we will keep this. We got to put 2 cards to the bottom. Blight Pile and a land. This hand is scary. Well, tap land go. Opponent not having a 1-drop is nice, though. Okay, there's the 1-drop on turn 2 and a forest. Well, Sun Petal Grove go. Oath of Nissa, gonna go digging. So game 1, we got a little bit fortunate that our opponent never found Nykthos, although they played all their cards, so I guess it actually didn't matter. Another Mana Dork, and the Nykthos, and the Mana Dork. Oh, and the Kiora. I think we want to play our spell, so we're going to counter this Kiora. Plus, it can untap the Nykthos, which is kind of bonkers. And then this is a little sketchy, but we got to get something on the battlefield. So we're going to play the Guardian past the turn. Hope that nothing absolutely horrible happens this turn. And then we'll have the Disdainful Stroke for next turn. Okay, Llanowar Elves. Nykthos just breaking even at the moment. Old Growth Troll. All right. We can try to deal with that. I'll play Mana Confluence. Play the Chaplain, make some birds. We can still leave up the Disdainful Stroke. I mean, this was a mull to 5 too. This was a mull to 5 and we're not just dead. Opponent does have all the manas now because of Nykthos and Old Growth Troll. Okay, more Mana Dorks. And Nykthos for 7. Storm the Festival. I mean, we're gonna counter it, but then they can cast it again next turn, I think. All right, deck, how about a good draw? Gets in with the Troll. Down to 13. Caryatid. Not the best draw, but we'll play it. We'll make a bird. Go to combat. Hit you with the birds. About it. Down to 18. Adepts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Can they? I think they can just storm the festival again. So we basically have to hope they, but it has 10 mana. We basically got to hope they whiff, which is asking a lot. Normally when this happens, very, very bad things happen. Oh, Karn. The problem with Karn is Karn gets the infinite combo pieces. Although I guess our birds can technically kill it. And that was the flashback, so the first Storm the Festival's gone at least. All right, ticks up the Karn. So they're setting up for the combo next turn. Gets in with the Troll. We draw. Faithbound Judge. Well, go to combat. Hit the Karn. Opponent takes it. I'll play Faithbound Judge. We gotta hold on to this land for bluffing purposes. I don't think it's gonna work because our opponent's still gonna go for it, but I think that's what we gotta do. So we get to make a bird. We get a 4/4. Nykthos is just so strong. It's so much mana. All right, pass the turn. Untaps. Oh, the Nissa. I wonder, it's so funny. In the early days of Pioneer, a lot of the cards from this deck were banned, right? Oath of Nissa was banned. I'm pretty sure Nykthos was also banned. Opponent, more old growth trolls. Nigh infinite mana here with this Nykthos. Opponent, gonna take down the Karn. Gets... Okay, they have another Karn. I mean, I don't think they can go infinite this turn, right? They're just setting up to go infinite in the future. So they got the Fast Cauldron. There's the Chain Veil. So we know most of our opponent's hand. They're going to be able to Restorative Burst to get back a bunch of Planeswalkers. So they're setting up to try to go infinite next turn, basically. Oh, they got another Nykthos in hand. Okay, just kidding. Well, if our opponent's last card is another Nykthos, they go infinite this turn. But do they win? They have the chain. Oh, yeah, okay, so Chain Veil, Karn. Yeah. So opponent, infinite combo. We will scoop it up. Having access to an infinite combo so you don't actually have to attack to win the game, pretty big deal for this deck. You can see like Settle the Wreckages and so forth not even coming in. That's because the deck doesn't really win by attacking. It's a Green Devotion deck that's actually just setting up an infinite combo. Maybe we should be trying to Rest in Peace. Maybe that's the play. Yeah, let's try the Rest in Pieces over the Vanishing Verse. It does shut down the combo loop, although the thing is they can win. They can win by attacking if necessary. Sand has a lot of defense, but it is as slow can be. I mean, I guess we try it. I like the Arcades. Arcades are good. Jetmir's Gardens go. We can Leyline Binding something, not next turn, but in 2 turns. We got double counters, opponent, land or elves. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, I guess we just play the Triome and pass. Drawing a land's not bad. It's not bad. The question's gonna be, can we actually tap out to get things on the battlefield without dying? Forest for our opponent, Kiora. Yeah, that's a fast Planeswalker. Opponent going to untap and play Oath of Nissa. It's even more mana dorks. Passing. I mean, play the land, untapped. Maybe we die here, but I think we have to play things. Axebane Guardian go. Hopefully we don't die here, but maybe we do. Do they have a Nykthos? That's the big question. Okay, Old Growth Troll. So no Nykthos yet, but this does draw our opponent a card because of Kiora. Untaps the land. And plays the Mana Dork. And plays a land. And plays even more Mana Dorks. Opponent passes. Well, Isolated Chapel. How much is Leyline Binding? 2. Getting down Arcades would be sweet, but it's so risky. I mean, I think we just have to get rid of the Old Growth Troll. Leyline Binding. Get rid of the Troll. Pass the turn. Troll is just so much mana with Nykthos here. Has the Nykthos. Makes mana. Storm the Festival. We will veto it. We're gonna have to spend 2 counters on the Storm the Festival. I wish we could get down Arcades. I guess if we draw land, we might be able to. Opponent untaps Nykthos. Makes a bunch of mana. Oh, their hand was 2 Storm the Festivals. Okay, well, sure. Whiff, maybe? Oh boy, that's not a good sign. The fact that this is taking so long means our opponent's choosing between... Well, okay, maybe they're choosing between bad options. The bad news here is our opponent gets to Storm the Festival again. Storm the Festival again the next turn, and the next turn, and the next turn. So there's just no... I mean, maybe we draw the Rest in Peace. That would stop the Storm the Festivals. Rest in Peace is probably our best draw. We draw Rest in Peace, shuts down the Storm the Festivals. We can counter the Cavalier. This deck's so strong. Oh boy, they hit a Karn. So I think we're... Either we draw Rest in Peace or we're dead next turn. Court of Calling cannot get a Rest in Peace. Yeah, so our opponent just has the entire... All right, pass the turn. Untaps. Elvish Mystic for free. And Nykthos, and then untaps Nykthos. Cavalier of Thorns. And that draws cards with Kiora. I think we gotta let it go, though. I think Karn is even worse for us. Although, honestly, we're losing this in about 40 different ways at the moment. Opponent untaps Nykthos. Wolfwillow Haven. So I think this means that even if we counter Karn, they still storm the festival? Maybe they're one short. Storm the festival. I mean, we gotta counter it. We can't not counter it. But I feel like this is just such a losing battle at the moment. Passes. Well, I mean, if we untap, we can make some birds. Opponent's gonna get in for 1. Well, we will block. We draw Blight Pile. Yeah, now we're just done. They got the Karn, they got the Storm the Festival, they get the Chain Veil. I don't think there's any value through sitting through that again, so. Well, game 1 was about the best we've seen the walls be, that's for sure. Against the odds time, we are playing some Defender Tribal. 5-color Defenders in Pioneer. We'll keep this. It's okay. Opponent, Triumph. We will play a Triumph pass the turn. So Jingatha, I'm assuming this is another combo deck, like Jeskai Ascendancy. Opponent, yeah, definitely a combo deck. Opponent passes. Opponent also got the first Defender down. Well, Caretaker, go. Really need another land. Another land would be super helpful here. Opponent untaps. Overgrown Tomb tapped. Another Sylvan Caryatid. Opponent passes. Not a land. Oh boy. Well, there's a drawback to being 5 colors. Or I guess it's more of a drawback to just not drawing lands, but 2 cards in hand. Just kidding. Many cards in hand. Bring to Light. So opponent, okay, just to Bring to Light, although Bring to Light is the single best card. Well, there's a land. Somehow it manages to come into play tapped, even though we have a Triumph. Pass the turn. But this means our opponent can just Bring to Light for another Niv? Ugh, that's sickening. Opponent gets and hits us. Down to 14. Bring to Light. Into a Tybalt. Tybalt takes up. We lose a Caryatid. Opponent gets a land. Opponent plays a tap land. Opponent plays a Caryatid. We draw. Sunpetal Grove. That one actually does come into play untapped. How much is Leyline Binding? 3? Yeah, that's slow, isn't it? Well, all right. Leyline Binding. Get rid of the Tybalt. Play the Watchdog. How do we stop the Niv, though? Opponent untaps. Goes to combat. Gets in with Niv. Down to 8. Oh no, has more action. Whenever opponent's almost out of cards, they find something good. Maybe it's just getting Jingatha. I just drew another Niv. Oh my god. Oh no. All right, opponent. Top decks a Bring to Light. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. Yeah. Gets a Scarab God. Plays a Scarab God. Passes the turn. We draw a Guardian. Oh, we've just been so pinched on mana. We can only play one thing, yeah. All right. That's unfortunate. Let's bring in the Disdainful Strokes. I guess go blank, maybe? Go down, 1 Blight Pile, 1 Faithbound Judge, 1 Watchdog, and I guess 1 Chord of Calling? I don't think we haven't drawn a single Sylvan Caryatid this league, have we? I feel like that's an important card for our deck to actually make the mana work and cast our things. We have not had much luck with that plan though. That would go a long way. Go a long way. Let's see a Sylvan Caryatid for once. Can't even kill it, and it gets us to our Arcades and our Chaplain. Would be pretty helpful. All right, we get to play first. What's the hand look like? Well, okay, we'll keep it. We don't have a Sylvan Caryatid. Opponent going to London. All right, tap land, go. Opponent untaps. Overgrown Tomb tapped. Passes. Well, there's the Arcades. Let's play Blight Pile. Pass the turn. Opponent Forest. Opponent always has it. Glacial Fortress and Axebane Guardian. Yeah, opponents always has a Sylvan Caryatid. Hallowed Fountain untapped. Opponent Growth Spiral. Puts a tap land into play. Thoughtseize. Yeah, that's not a multicolor card, but you are allowed to play it. Takes the Chaplain. Well, this does mean we get to play the land untapped. Green, blue, white, whatever. Play Arcades. Tap for green, and I guess green. Play Caretaker, draw a card. Go to combat. Hit you for 3. Well, let's see what our opponent's got. Opponent. Land. Oh my god, Extinction Event. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, so let's pass the turn. I think we're on the Court of Calling for Arcades plan. Hopefully our opponent doesn't have Niv. They do have all their colors, and they do have Niv. Ay, ay, ay. Okay. Growth Spiral and a Vanishing Verse. All right, that could have been worse. That could have been a lot worse. Well, 1, 2, Court of Calling, get Arcades, untap. Ooh, Leyline Binding. That's not the worst either. Although our opponent can just get it back. Well, 1, 2, 3, play a Guardian, draw a card. Play the land. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, I think we just pass for now. Actually, maybe we just do this now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, let's do it while your opponent's tapped out. Get a Wingmantle Chaplain. Draw a card. Make some birds. Pass the turn. I mean, we're kind of presenting lethal depending on what our opponent can do here. About it. Growth Spiral. Land tapped. They have a Vanishing Verse, but that doesn't do a ton. It does slow down this Leyline Binding. Opponent plays a land. Passes. Well, Sylvan Caryatid, draw a card. Finally got the Caryatid, make a bird. Plains. So if we swing with everything, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. Yeah, play the land, go to combat. Swing with everything. Did we get the wall win? Did we get the wall win? We gotta wait until after. Oh, we did it! We did it! We outvalued the valuiest deck in the format. Opponent even nived and extinction evented, and it didn't matter. The power of the birds, the power of the walls. That was actually pretty good. Well, when it works, it really works. When it doesn't work, oh God. Do we want to change anything else? Maybe we veto. Run it back. Let's just do that again, because that was sweet. Oh, Wingmantle Chaplain's a real card. Ish. It's real sometimes. On its good days. Tap land for our opponent. Well, there's the Chaplain. Tap land for us. Go. Wouldn't mind drawing a counter. Being able to stop like the first Niv would be huge. All right, opponent has the Caryatid, like usual. Well, let's play an untap land, and we will match our opponent's Caryatid with one of our own. Pass the turn. Land for our opponent. Thoughtseize. Ouch. So it'd be a good time to draw a counter. We would love to draw a counter. Weathered Runestone. All right, so that stops Court of Calling. Opponent passes. Well, play the land. I think we just play the Chaplain and make a couple birds past the turn. Land for our opponent. Every time. They never don't have it. And this actually does work with the Runestone because it goes to exile. Opponent. Growth Spiral. Okay, just a Growth Spiral. Well, that was not the most impressive Niv I've ever seen. Opponent passes. Well, let's play Resolute Watchdog. Make a bird. Land untapped. Axebane Guardian. Make a bird. Pass the turn. I mean, the birds can block this Niv for a while, unless our opponent has an extinction event. There's the Growth Spiral to draw a card. Losing that Arcades does hurt. That is the card advantage engine, and because of this Runestone, we can't just grab another one if we draw Court of Calling. So we gotta actually draw it naturally. Opponent's going to Dreadbore the Chaplain. Well, yeah, we'll save it. Opponent, land tapped, and staying on D. Well, 1, 2, 3, Faithbound Judge. Make a bird. So really, Caretaker. Make a bird. But we can't actually attack at the moment. Oh, this is just giving our opponent a lot of time to find a Wrath. Cycles a land. Plays a land. Passes. Well, remove the counter. Tap land. Go to combat. Get in with the birds. I mean, I think we gotta attack. We're losing a bird, but I think it's worth it. Opponent, down to 13. Opponent. Oh, Jesus. Okay, Deafening Clarion. That's real bad. Oh, so many sweepers. Opponent goes to combat. Well, I mean, we'll kill your Niv. They got another one, must be. Plays a land. All right, opponent's out of cards. Opponent is officially out of cards. Oh, they get Jingatha, though. I forgot. We live in the world of companions. Well, play the land, pass the turn. Leyline Binding's not bad. They have so many Nivs in their deck, though. You know they're going to find one. You know they're going to find another one. Oh, like exactly right now. All right, so opponent finds another Niv. How bad is this one? Oh, real bad. Real bad. The second Niv, I think, is gonna be the Niv that does us in. Hits the third, so they have another Niv that's coming now. Opponent casts Slaughter Games. Names Faithbound Judge, because that was actually, we were one land away from having that be a way to win the game. Wow, that was close. We draw a Cerulean Caretaker. Oh, so close. We almost got a match win. The deck functions well, but boy, there's so many sweepers. Everyone we play against is just playing a sweeper and these hate cards. I mean, also, I guess it's a little unfortunate that we got into top deck mode and our opponent just immediately drew another Niv that was a draw 4 and a 6/6. Not a ton that we can do to overcome that. Triome. Well, yeah, I think we're just dead here. Cycle the Triome. Oh, that was a close one. Chaplain. Yeah, it just doesn't really matter. This makes a single bird. Like, we get rid of Niv. The problem is we know they have another one. And they have the Jengatha. I mean, we'll pass. Well, I mean, that is the power of Niv, is Niv gives you more Nivs and gives you more Nivs. The real issue is our opponent hitting that sweeper. The sweeper, the Deafening Clarion was the card that kind of did us in. We never drew a counter. If we had drawn, I think, a Disdainful Stroke to get rid of the Niv and keep the second one from resolving, that would have went a really long way towards us winning this game. But we didn't find it. Opponent. Top text at Tibble. All right. Oh, well, game 2 was sweet. And actually, the deck runs pretty well and does cool things. But everyone just has a million wraths. Ouch. Against the odds time, we are mulliganing a 0-lander. We're keeping this one, though. We're keeping this one. This hand makes a lot of mana. We don't have any payoffs, which is a bit frightening, but we do get to make a bunch of mana. Yeah, we'll just put the 1-drop to the bottom. We're playing a tap land on turn 1 anyway. We really need some of our wall payoffs. We have literally all the mana we could possibly ever want. Blood Crypt for our opponent. Tapped. Passes. All right, well, that's a land. Play the Triumph past the turn. Court of Calling would be nice. That could find a payoff. Drawing Arcades or Chaplain would be nice. Hive Thy Tyrant and Blood Tithe Harvester. Sure. Well, all right, more Caryatids. So still all the mana in the world, but nothing to do with it. Goes combat, gets in, hits us. Sure. Down to 15. Yeah, our walls don't have the biggest butts, do they? So it's just just playing good cards seems good against our deck. Opponent passes. Well, there's a Chaplain. So we gotta expect it's gonna die. What do we do? You know what? We're gonna play Rubble Fort. This potentially lets us have a really sweet turn next turn if it lives. We're gonna get smacked here for a ton. If Rubble Fort lives, we get to do cool things. Opponent. Hasty Axebane Guardians are sweet. Okay, what is this? Double Bone Crusher? People are so good at drawing Bone Crushers. Come on. Jeez. Ah! All right, so opponent. All the Bone Crushers in the world gets in, hits us for a ton. Yeah, people have been really good at drawing Bone Crushers against this deck, like surprisingly good. Well, we will. Wow, we're in such a bad spot here. Okay, I mean, I guess we make some birds. Oh, this turn would have been so much sweeter with haste. Play the tap land, pass the turn. All right, we did it. Our payoff is here. Pioneer top deck in the format. Can you be 2/1/1 flyers? And maybe more to come. Pioneer players just shaking in their boots at the thought of the birds. Opponent gonna go attacking, hit us for a bunch. Well, we will block and also block. Drop to 5. Opponent gonna discard a card, sack the blood, draw a card. Play presumably a Bone Crusher Giant. Thoughtseize, Well, we got some defenders, opponent. You figured it out. Surprised they didn't play a Bone Crusher Giant, unless they just drew into a removal spell for Chaplain. Then this makes all the sense. All right, Den of the Bugbear. Opponent passes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. How do we stay alive? All right, 1, 2, 3. Axebane Guardian. Make a bird. 1, 2. Sylvan Caryatid. Make a bird. So the plan is bird chump block. The next turn we can cord for Arcades, hopefully. Opponent goes to combat. Gets in, hits us. Sure. Well, we will bird block. Stay at 4. Opponent, Bone Crusher Giant. Blood Tithe Harvester. Come on, Arcades, save us. Oh, it's gonna let that flip. Well, play the Sun Petal Grove. Pass the turn. We gotta do it at instant speed. We have to. Pass the turn. Gonna be close, so they get to flip the Glutton. Thankfully, not too many creatures in the graveyard. Den of the Bugbear. Opponent goes to combat. Big attack. Makes a 1/1. Eats the Harvester. Block here. Block here. Block here. Block here. Block here. And then Chord of Calling to get Arcades. So our stuff actually deals damage. So Chord X4, get Arcades, kill a bunch of stuff. Now we really need to draw a defender to cast with Arcades. Basically any defender. Chaplain's still the best, but we will accept any defender. Come on, deck. Come on, deck. High alert is not good. Boy, I think that means we die past the turn. Because we can't stop the Hive of the Eye. Oh, that has vigilance. Well, we should have attacked for 3 there. I don't think that's actually going to matter, though. We're dead to a land. All right, yep. We're dead to our opponent activating Hive of the Eye Tyrant. We almost got there. We almost got there. The Arcades came down to clean up the board, but we needed to chain together some defenders to go with it, and we just didn't hit them. See if our opponent figures it out. Opponent keeps trying to activate Hive of the Eye Tyrant, but doing it very poorly. And they figured it out. Wow, that was close. That was close. We almost did it. All right. So Rakdos. I don't even know what we want against Rakdos. Rakdos is just like all the good cards. There's not really a ton of synergy to it. It's just like play all the good stuff and trust that it'll work out. And usually it does. That's why it's one of the best decks in the format. Go down to Caretaker and I guess a Faithbound Judge. Try it like that. Bring in a little bit more removal. 1 Settle, 1 Vanishing Verse. Defenders have been a little rough. They do cool big things, but that cool big thing seems like it's just not quite strong enough for a format like Pioneer. Like they do this big explosive, like make a bunch of birds or something, but then the opponent's just like, whatever. Sweeper, gotcha. Yeah, Sparse Headquarters, go. See how many Thought Seizes our opponent has. Blood Crypt, tapped. All right, well, we will. Clifftop Retreat, and Sylvan Caryatid. Go. This High Alert would be nice. Hive of the Eye Tyrant, and Blood Tithe Harvester for our opponent. Oh, there's the Arcades. So we can play the Arcades. If it dies, it's very sad. I think we wait 1 more turn. Next turn, yeah, let's just play High Alert. Next turn, we can Arcades plus Watchdog and draw a card. Opponent, Pathway, Liliana the Veil. All right, well, next turn we can't Arcades plus Watchdog and draw a card. Opponent takes down Liliana. It's hidden for 3. Now what? Oh, we really need to go out for this Arcades, but if we cast it, it's so likely to die. They just always die. They even got the blood to turn on Fatal Push. Well, let's play a Watchdog. Play the land. Binding Liliana. I mean, I think this is our best bet. We're trying to get into a position where we can draw a card with Arcades. That is the goal. This is our biggest engine if we can keep it on the battlefield. Opponent. Dread Boar. All right. Well, so Arcades definitely would have died. Opponent plays an untapped land and another Blood Tithe Harvester. Gets in, hits us. Sure. Down to 13. Well, all right. I mean, we've reached the YOLO part of the game. Play Arcades, pray for a miracle. We did what we could to try to run our opponent out of removal, but opponent, more Red Boars. Yeah, oh boy, so much removal. I think that's one of the challenges with the Defender archetype. It does some interesting, cool things, but it has very few cards that actually matter. Like, there's only a handful of cards that really actually do anything. So if you can't keep the cards that do things, like Wingmantle Chaplain or Arcades on the battlefield, it becomes really hard to win. Opponent, is this even more removal? Golly. Bone Crusher Giant. So we're dead to a land and the Hive of the Eye Tyrant. Opponent goes to combat. I mean, we're dead to everything. Goes to combat. Swings. Well, boom and boom. Let's do this. Blocking. Defense. Cha-cha-cha. All right, well, at least we played some defense with our defenders as we brutally die. Wow, opponent had lethal and did not go for it. Huh, you never know with opponents. That was like super easy, obvious. I mean, I don't even know what they're afraid of with this 1 mana. I guess like March. Well, I mean, I guess technically this keeps us alive for another turn. To what ends, that I am not sure. Now they're going to fire up the Hive of the Eye Tyrant? Well, opponent did that in the worst possible order. If they did it last turn, they win the game, but instead they waited, and now they get Settle the Wreckage. Again, I don't think any of this matters. Like, I don't think this is leading to us coming back in this game. Like, we have literally nothing going on, but got him. We got to take the small victories with defenders, and this is a very small victory, but it counts. All right, opponent, gonna exile something. Passes. Sylvan Caryatid, run that out. Can you beat it? Go. I mean, if our opponent only draws lands for like 5 turns, we might be in business. Opponent, land. Okay, step 1. Uh-oh, that's not a land. Sheoldred the Apocalypse. Okay, pretty good. Oh, that's opposite only drawing lands. Opponent, solid action. All right, well, this means we have to Binding Sheoldred upkeep. So we're not dead yet. Draw Took Rubble. Took Rubble for it. All right, pass the turn. Opponent has like a million redraws. They got Castle Lockwane. They got 2 blood tokens. So they are gonna find something. Opponent gonna loot away a land. Draws a new card thanks to Fable of the Mirrorbreaker. Praise another land. Castle Lockwane gonna draw some more cards. Yeah, maybe even if our opponent does draw 5 lands in a row, we still lose. It's starting to look that way. Opponent. Liliana. And dead. Well, we did play some defenders. We'll give the deck that. Against the odds time, we are playing some defenders in Pioneer. Defense. Well, we'll keep this. Wingmantle Chaplain is one of our payoffs. We can maybe make some birds. And we're going to have some early game removal, which isn't bad. Hopefully we draw some more walls or payoffs for the walls. All right, Botanical Sanctum for our opponent. Passes, maybe. So this is what? Someone trying to Lotus Field combo? Not actually passing. The fake pass. We draw nothing. Godless Shrine Goo. Untaps. Branchloft Pathway. And maybe this is like a Coco deck or something. That's possible. Bant Spirits, interesting. You don't see Bant Spirits as much. Play the Triome. Do we want to just kill? Yeah, let's wait. Also, let's stop drawing lands. Please. Opponent untaps. Supreme Phantom. Opponent goes to combat. Gonna get in and hit us. Well, we're just gonna answer the Lord. Get rid of Supreme Phantom. All right, non-land. Non-land, please. Down to 18. Opponent passes. Oh, Caryatid. Would have been better last turn, but we'll play an X-Men Guardian. Pass the turn. Opponent untaps. I mean, the birds might be able to keep up with the spirits if we can get them down. Gets in, hits us. Sure. Also got to be a little scared of counters here. Opponent's going to pass. Yeah, a little scared of counters. Faithbound Judge. See if that gets countered. No. Well then, play Clifftop Retreat. Pass the turn. Faithbound Judge actually kind of good defense. I mean, opponent can flash something in and tap it down, but still. Pass the turn. Rattle Chains. I mean, how do you get through the 4/4? That's a 4/4 flyer. Bigger than the spirits, and the birds are coming. The birds are hopefully coming. Although now our opponent can just always leave their mana up, which is awkward. Or not. Shacklegeist. Okay. So opponent wants to try to get in some damage. The problem is this means we get to make a lot of birds. And I think these birds are gonna win. I think this Wingmantle Chaplain might be enough here. Opponent gets in, hits us. Sure. Well, let's cycle a Triome. We don't need more lands. Into even more Triomes, okay. Court of Calling would be spectacular, or Arcades. Opponent passes. Well, remove a counter from the judge. Leyline Binding, that's also fine. 1, 2, 3, 4. Actually, do we need to play an untapped land? We kind of want to, I think we want to get rid of the Shackle guy. So this makes 2. All right, yeah, untapped land, ouch. 1, 2, 3, 4. Wingmantle Chaplain. Make some birds. Can you beat the birds, spirits? Have we found your weakness? So we make a bunch of birds. Sylvan Caryatid. Make another bird. And pass the turn. We have more flyers than our opponent, and our opponent's playing Spirit Tribal. Opponent, land. Untapped, I assume. This needs, what, 3 counters? Okay. So not there yet. Another Shacklegeist. I mean, we just want to keep drawing defenders and or Arcades. Let's Spectral Spirit. Passes. We do get to cycle this Triumph too. Get a counter. Oh, breeding pool. Can we stop, please, with the lands deck? Cycle. 1, 2, 3. X-Bane Guardian. Make a bird. Breeding pool tapped. Pass the turn. Yeah, no attacks. All right, so opponent can tap a couple things down, but they're not even gonna bother. So I guess our opponent needs lords. They need like Coco into lords to get big enough to get through the birds. We get to start attacking with this. Oh, they hit the land. All right, so opponent could have Coco. We get to start attacking with this next turn. If this dies, we can get it back. Passes. All right, Coco time by the looks. Come on, let's draw something good. Let's draw something good. Oh, that is about the best. Well, go to combat. Wingmantle Chaplain number 2 is about as good as a draw could be here. Go attacking. That's a lot of birds. Opponent takes it. Well, let's see if they have an answer. 1, 2, 3, 4. Wingmantle Chaplain number 2. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Many birds. Many, many, many birds. Okay, your go, opponent. It's working! About it. Good at Coco. Better be good. Oh, they're just gonna draw. Oh, okay, sure. That is allowed. Yeah, double Wingmantle Chaplain's pretty sweet. There's the Coco. What does our opponent find? Double Lord. And what? We can't quite win this turn, I don't think. Unless our opponent tries to attack, then we might be able to. Wow, okay. Taps down the Faithbound Judge. Attacks. We have not quite enough birds. Well, I think we cash in some birds here. Leyline Binding. Get rid of a Lord. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Kill 2 Shackle, guys. We just have to not draw lands, basically. Every defender is 2 birds at this point. Arcades, I think, just wins us the game. How about it passes? That is probably our worst defender, but it's still pretty good. Go to combat. Get in with the Faithbound Judge. Keep chipping away. Opponent takes it. Play the Caretaker, get a couple birds. Pass the turn. Opponent untaps. No more Cocos. That would be annoying. Opponent. Cemetery Illusionist. Okay. Might let our opponent cast some stuff off the top of their deck. This ended up being a super close game. Hallowed Fountain. Untapped. Okay. Opponent goes to combat. Passes. We draw. Oh, deck. Go to combat. Hit you with the Faithbound Judge. I mean, at some point, our opponent's gonna have to block this or do something to it. Opponent. Chumps. Well, we will pass the turn. Wow, free spirit off the top of the deck. Oh, that's really big for our opponent. That's huge. Huge. A Cemetery Illusionist. Oh, I can't believe we drew another land. Shacklegeist, number 4 for our opponent. And goes to combat. Passes. All right, deck, please. Please not a land. Please not a land. Opponent plays a land. Spectral Sailor. I don't know what that was. Passes. Well, go to combat. At least it's not a land. At least it's not a land. We were literally drawing our worst possible defenders, but better than a land. Very slightly better than a land. Get in with the Faithbound Judge. At this point, I think we want the Faithbound Judge to die because it seems like there's a decent chance we can maybe win with it. Opponent blocks with a Shacklegeist. I'll play a Caretaker. Make some birds. Pass the turn. Opponent untaps. Oh, they find Coco. All right, draws with Spectral Sailor. Oh, we're getting so close to being able to Alpha Strike. All right, deck, not a land. Not a land. Okay, well, it's a land that we can cycle. So if we're going to draw more lands, make them be cycling lands. Cycle the land. Oh, we can make so much mana. Cycle the land. Okay, well, X-Bane Guardian is at least another creature with Defender. Make some birds. Go to combat. Gonna tap the Faithbound Judge. All right, so we will pass. Still not quite lethal. Pass the turn. Opponent. Mausoleum Wander off the top of their deck. This Illusionist has done a lot of work for our opponent. Untaps. Plays a land. What a weird game. Draws a card with Spectral Sailor. This card advantage is bad for us. The fact that our opponent gets to keep drawing cards and we don't is pretty bad. Opponent passes. Something good, something good. Okay, well, I mean, 2/2 Grubble for it. Play it, make some birds. Go to combat. Is this enough? If we could have found an Arcades. Opponent taps down the 4/4. 10, 11, so we have 14 attackers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 blockers. Opponent can flash in a creature. Oh, is this good enough? Is this good enough to go for it? If they have Coco, we lose. Just like straight up lose. On the other hand, giving our opponent time to wait is probably bad for us. Wow, this is so incredibly tough. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then cast a creature. Yeah, I think we have to not do it. I think we gotta pass. I think we gotta keep waiting. Like there's a chance if our opponent doesn't have anything, we could theoretically have lethal there. The problem is if we go for it and our opponent can stay alive by casting some combination of 2 creatures and removal spells, we just straight up lose. We straight up lose. Oh, they found the Coco. All right, that's a good one. Kind of disappointing that we haven't drawn a single Arcades or Court of Calling yet. Either one of those would be very helpful here. Opponent, Skyclave Apparition, and a Mausoleum Wonder. Skyclave's going after what? Boy, is this gonna just be the longest, grindiest game and then we end up losing? It might be. I mean, we've got to see the walls do a ton though. Like this has been a game where the walls, like, we're seeing them go off and we're missing one of our key pieces. Opponent gonna get rid of the Faith-Bowed Judge. Opponent goes to combat and passes. Not like this. Oh, God. Land number 12. That is bad. Opponent's drawn 8 lands out of 31 cards. We've drawn 12 lands out of 24 cards. That is a problem. Now our opponent's getting to the point where they're just going to be able to Alpha Strike, and we're not going to be able to rebuild our bird supply. Chips in with 1. Well, I guess we'll block it. This would be a really nice turn to draw something good. Opponent, land, tapped, passes. Well, Faith-Bound Judge is better than nothing. Make a couple birds, get a 4/4. Play the land, pass the turn. What a weird game. Opponent, gonna tap down the Faith-Bound Judge. I feel like this is slipping away if we never find Arcades. Opponent, more spirits off the top of their deck. Our opponent's card advantage has been a very big deal for them. The Cemetery Illuminator and also the Spectral Sailors are doing some serious work for our opponent. Opponent, land. I mean, also us just not drawing Arcades or Court of Calling is hurting quite a bit. That's our card advantage and we haven't drawn it. Opponent gets in with the Mausoleum Wonder and also a Spectral Sailor. Well, I guess we'll block one of them. At this point, I'm not even sure Arcades does it because our opponent's got to build such a big board. Oh boy, and multiple Skyclaves. Skyclave Apparition. Opponent has played through most of their deck at this point. Well, I mean, I guess this is showing the wall's ability to build a very defensive board. My God. Jeez. Jeez. Really good at drawing those caterers. Really, really good at that. Opponent untaps. Plays a land. Goes to combat. Swings. Feeling a little frisky. Well, we will block and block. Drop to 4. I feel like we're getting pretty close to losing. The caterers are not going to get the job done. We have roughly infinite mana too. Rattle Chains. Pump some Mausoleum Wonder. I mean, maybe our opponent can flash in. They just have a handful of lords. Rattle Chains. Off the top of the deck, golly. And then a lord. I mean, if our opponent has a lord, then that is lethal. And I guess we should have blocked the Mausoleum Wonder. Was not expecting our opponent to be able to cast that many creatures, but I guess do not underestimate the power of the card advantage. Spell Queller. Is their last card also a spirit? Wow, they drew way more action than we did. Where are the lands in our opponent's deck? That part is becoming shocking. Opponent flashes in a huge board. You gotta really. So opponent 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 lands out of 37 cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 out of 28. Ugh. Well, we got to see us make a lot of birds. Unfortunately, making a lot of birds did not allow us to win that game. We did not, you know what would have won the game? A blight pile, an Arcades, a Hyler, a Court of Calling to find any of those. That was awkward. What weird running. What weird running. We went through almost half of our deck and just couldn't find any of the, I mean, we found 2 Wingmantle Chaplains, which did let us stay alive and almost let us win, but then we just like kept drawing lands and kept drawing Cerulean caretakers, and we just could not draw any of our good cards. Like, it was just impossible. Well, this hand I like, except for the fact that our opponent can probably counter the Arcades, although they didn't even see the Arcades in game 1. I guess Skyclave Apparition can get rid of it as well. Opponent in the tank on 1. Cast a Mausoleum Wonder. Well done, friend. A Glacial Fortress, and Sylvan Caryatid, go. I mean, the question's gonna be, does Arcades stick? If it does, life is good. Opponent, Botanical Sanctum. Even more Mausoleum Wonders. And a Spectral Sailor. All right, go Arcades. Opponent gets in, hits us, sure. Well, Clifftop Retreat, Arcades. Go. We found an Arcades this time. That we did not do last game. Opponent doesn't have double white mana, so they can't Skyclave this turn. There's a white source. Pass it. All right, so we get to play Blight Pile. Well, we found all the cards that we couldn't find last game, which is sweet. Temple Garden untapped. Axebane Guardian. Draw a card. Pass the turn. Yeah, I think we're not going to attack with Arcades this turn. All right, pass the turn. And now we might be able to double Wingmantle Chaplain. Here comes the Skyclave. Yep. Pumps the dorks, kills Arcades for the time being. Gonna go attacking, hit us for a bunch. We untap. 1, 2, 3, 4. Wingmantle Chaplain. Make some birds. 1, 2, 3, 4. Court of Calling. Get a Wingmantle Chaplain. Make some birds. Drain you for 5. Oh no, we're 1 mana short. We can't do that. Yeah, let's just pass the turn. This has got to be enough, right? Look at those birds. Look at those birds. Look at that turn. Opponent's got a bunch of 1/1 spirits, but these birds should do it, right? We even got another Court of Calling about it. Lord Coco. All right, so opponent has their best possible card. Is it enough? I mean, look at the deck going off. The deck it can do big things. It can do big things. It can do cool things. Opponent, Lorded Shacklegeist. Okay. Pumps the Mausoleum Wanderers a smidge. Sure. Now we'll see how aggressive our opponent gets here. Opponent, swings and swings. Well, we will just block and block. So opponent's tapped out. Okay, now what? Leyline Binding. That's also good. Well, let's Court of Calling. Actually, all right, add green mana. Court of Calling. X4. Oh, I think we just get a Chaplain. We're going to give up on the card draw. Get a Chaplain. Make the birds. Play another Axebane Guardian. Make some birds. Add a black mana. Blight Pile you for 7. Pass the turn. About it untaps. So now they really got to answer the Blight Pile. That's what we were missing last game. That's what we were missing, is a Blight Pile. Oh my god, they have it. Okay, so opponent finds an answer to the Blight Pile. So not dead yet. They're going after a Chaplain? Okay. I think the Blight Pile is a real problem, though. Like, aren't they just literally dead to this Blight Pile? It drains for 6 and then we swing. Shacklegeist. Grows the dorks. Do we have to think? Oh, are they gonna make us think? Opponent attacks. 2, 3, 4 blockers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh, all right. I think we can block and still win here. Block and block. Oh yeah, we have so many birds. And our opponent's board is not as big as last game. All right, we untap. Black mana. Green mana. Actually, okay, hang on. Tap this. Green, green, black, 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 white. Caryatid. Make some birds. Blight Pile you for 7. Go to combat. Attack with the birds. Ha! Defenders! Oh, that's what we're missing in game one. We were missing the Blight Pile and the Arcades, but those were the two things that we were really missing. That went pretty well. Oh, the deck is so cool when it goes off. So sweet when it goes off. Although, it has just not been good at actually getting match wins, sadly. But it is super cool. What are we going down? Let's go down a Caretake for a Portable Hole and a Caretake for a Vanishing Verse. Yeah, try it like that. A little bit more removal on the draw. All right, can we get the win? Can we get the win? Oh, that hand's not very good. Yeah, I think we gotta mulligan this. We do have a Chaplain, but we're just like, I don't think on the draw against Spirits, we can go nothing, Rubble for Chaplain. That's more exciting. We are gonna need to draw land though. Or, maybe we just put Guardian to the bottom and go on the Caretake plan? Yeah, I think we do that. 2 Caretakes does equal a land to get down the Faithbound Judge. Sand's not great, but I do like the Rending Valley. And Faithbound Judge is like kinda reasonable. All right, Bonnet. Hollywood Fountain tapped. Yeah, Breeding Pool untapped. Run out the Caretaker. Go. We took out 2 Caretakes and still drew both of them. Shacklegeist passes. Now play the Plains. Play Caryatid. Pass the turn. Abode. So still could use a payoff. Opponent. Cemetery Illuminator, but nothing in the graveyard. Okay. Should we be killing one of these? Opponent gets in, hits us. Yeah, let's just take it for now. Down to 16. Opponent passes. There's the Arcades. Well, 1, 2, 3. Faithbound Judge. Triume. Go. No Coco. How about no Coco? Can we get a no Coco draw? And of course, it's a Coco. Can we get a whiff? How about a Coco whiff? We will also accept that. Shacklegeist and Rattlechains. I mean, this is whiff adjacent, although I guess they can tap. Yeah, the Shacklegeist is still annoying. They can tap the 2 summoning sick things to get in an attack. All right, let's add a red mana, kill the Illuminator. Opponent gets in for 2. Hits us. Well, go Arcades, hopefully. Counter on the Judge. Green, white, blue. Yeah, ouch. Untap land. Arcades. Caretaker. Hit you for 7. All right, the race is on. Does Arcades stick around? Opponent untaps. Oh my goodness, double Coco. Oh no. Oh, I thought this was gonna be the one for the deck. About it. Oh, I thought this was it. But double Coco is so brutal. Lord. And another Shacklegeist. Let's draw something. Well, this was a very interesting close match. Like, this is Spirits running about as good as Spirits can run. Double Coco, and it's gonna be close. Opponent passes. Counter off the Judge, please, and actions. Ooh, that is an action spell. Go to combat, see what our opponent does. Nothing, eh? I think attack with the crew. Oh boy. Opponent blocks. I think it might be happening. Through double Coco. Walls. We did it. Opponent blocks and blocks, so we will just Leyline Binding. Get rid of the Lord. Shrink the Shacklegeist. And opponent scoops it up! Oh, wow. It took a lot of close calls, a lot of losses, a lot of cool things backfiring, but in the end, we got there with the walls. Well, that was a ridiculous match. Sweet. So what did we learn this week about 5 color defenders in Pioneer? And bad news is, it took us 8 matches to finally win a match with the deck. I played a whole league and then half of another league before we actually got a full match win. So record-wise, this is pretty bad. The good news is, wow, were we close so many times. You saw a lot of our matches and they were really close. We had some sweet game wins. We also had some pretty powerful games where we did big things, where we were making tons of birds and flooding the board and going off with Arcades, but then our opponent would have a sweeper of some kind and ruin our day. Cast a Farewell or a Supreme Verdict or a Meuk Massacre or a Radiant whatever Flames, anything like that, and just sweep away our board and undo all of our hard work. Plus, The other issue with the deck that we ran into is we really only got like 2.5 really big payoffs. We really need Arcades or Wingmantle Chaplain for the deck to do much of anything. Otherwise, we risk just playing a bunch of like mana walls and not really progressing the game. Blight Pile is also really good, but that's more of a late game play. Like, it's not going to generate card advantage or make a whole bunch of birds to let us attack or stay alive. So it's a great finisher, and it is deserving of its title as a payoff, but we really need Arcades or Wingmantle Chaplain. And you saw some of the matches, our opponents were wise to that. Like, we would play Arcades, maybe try to manipulate it so we could draw one card right away, and then it would die. And then we'd play a Wingmantle Chaplain and get a couple birds, and then it would die. So you got to see when our stuff stuck on the battlefield, like in that last match against Spirits, where they didn't have a ridiculous amount of removal like Rakdos or the control decks we played. We got to do absurd things. We were getting like 20 birds on the battlefield and just like going off and doing ridiculous things, but there's so many removal heavy decks in Pioneer and sweeper heavy decks in Pioneer. It's more likely that either we do a big thing and our board gets swiped away, or we just can't stick our payoffs because they die right away and don't really get the traction going. So that was the biggest issue with the deck. So 5-color defenders, the deck is fun. The deck does really cool things. I was impressed by Wingmantle Chaplain and Blight Pile as well, the big additions to the deck from Dominaria United. But overall, I think this is definitely like a very semi-competitive deck. I don't even know if that's fair. Maybe we'd say a not competitive deck. Maybe this is more of a casual Pioneer deck. So I wouldn't recommend trying to win it, you know, your F&M with this deck or something. Probably not going to actually work out. But if you want to draw a bunch of cards and make a bunch of birds and get some janky, silly wins on occasion, it is a really unique, fun option. So that's 5-color defenders. That's been our Against the Odds for this week. Thanks for watching, everyone. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will talk to you soon.